Walsh.
Present.
Present, Councilor Fenton.
Present.
Present, Councilor Perez.
Present.
Present, Councilor Whitfield.
Present.
Present, Councilor Govan.
Present.
Present, Councilor Allen.
Present. Excuse me, present.
Present, Councilor Brown.
Present.
Present, Councilor Hurst.
Present.
Present, Councilor Click Bruce. Present, Councilor Edwards. Present, Councilor Curran. Present, Councilor Davila. Absent, Councilor Letterman.
Present. Will council and guests please rise and join me in a moment of silence? Please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may all be seated. Before we begin, let the record reflect that Councilors Hurst, Perez, Whitfield, Fenton, and Brown are participating in the proceedings remotely. I want to thank members and guests for joining us for this special meeting. We felt it was important to ensure that the business from our previous meeting that was continued due to our council rules was taken up swiftly. And so with that, I'll ask the clerk to please call the first item.
The first item is for a special permit to operate a drive-up service window at the properties known as East Side, East Columbus Ave, South Side Wilcox Street, and North Side William Street.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. This item was heard at our last meeting. The hearing was carried out and closed. At this time, we are on deliberation amongst the council. Councilor Allen.
Thanks, Mr. President. Just to bring us back a week ago Monday night, we had reached agreement. It appeared we had reached agreement on a change to the Panera exit. But basically, it seemed like a lot of us agreed to the Panera, to the development of a Panera there. The only issue had been an exit onto William Street, which Mr. Frigo objected to. I believe there was a change made to the plan, and I was wondering if we could call it Mr. Dromey to come up and just make sure that the new plan meets those requirements.
Phil.
Yes, revised plans were submitted. I believe I emailed those out to the council. So on William Street, the curb cut has been reduced from 23 feet to 16 feet, and also they've indicated that signage will be added to indicate that this is an enter only off of William Street, so there will be no cars exiting, which I think was the main issue at the previous meeting. So the revised plans have been submitted.
Were there any other changes in the plan that you know?
No, not that I can. No, I believe it's just the reduction of the curb cut.
And that was, it seems to meet the request of Mr. Frigo.
Sure does. Yeah, it seems to.
Okay, thank you. Mr. President, I would like to vote on this. There are a couple motions that need to be made, and hold on. If Mr. Fenton is available, if you would call on him, he and I were talking about the motions on the way down to the meeting.
Thank you, Councilor Allen. I'll be happy to recognize Councilor Fenton, but Councilor Perez is also in the queue, so I'd like to go to Councilor Perez first.
Okay.
Councilor Perez, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have to concur with Councilor Allen. I think we had reached an agreement at the last city council meeting. I think the only issue was the William Street, and I feel it has been resolved. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilor Perez. Councilor Fenton.
Thank you, Mr. President. I make a motion that we amend the conditions of the special permit in two ways. The first, to amend the plan that's being approved as part of this special permit to reflect the plan that was submitted to us since our last hearing. And also to amend condition number 1, as we talked about at our last meeting, to read, this special permit is granted to this petitioner only, but is assignable to PR Restaurants LLC or any Panera Bread affiliate.
Thank you, Councilor Fenton. Councilor Fenton's made a motion.
Second.
Motion was seconded by Councilor Edwards. Is there any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, do you have the language of the motion?
Yes.
And Madam Clerk, can you just repeat the language of the motion before we take a vote?
So it is granted to this petitioner only. And if Counselor Fenton can repeat the second part?
Councilor, could you, we could hear your motion, but just to ensure that it's recorded properly, can you repeat the motion?
Sure. So to this petitioner only, but is assignable to PR LLC or
Sorry, Counselor,
any Panera Bread affiliate.
Councilor Fenton, you cut out when you said PR Enterprises. Can you just repeat that first part again?
I am sorry, Mr. President. PR Restaurants LLC or any Panera Bread affiliate.
PR, P as in Paul.
Paul Robert, yes.
Thank you.
So Counselor Fenton, I'm going to repeat it just for the record. So it's to amend condition number 1. This special permit is granted to the petitioner only, but is assignable to PR Restaurants LLC or any Panera Bread affiliate.
That is correct. And also to reflect that the plans have been updated that we're approving since the last meeting. So you can just put that on as an extra condition at the end, Gladys.
Will do.
Thank you, Councilor Fenton. Is there any further discussion on Councilor Fenton's motion, which has been made and properly seconded? Seeing no further discussion, Madam Clerk, please call the roll on the motion. A yes vote will adopt the motion. A no vote will reject it.
On adopting the motion, Counselor Walsh.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Fenton.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Perez.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Whitfield.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Govan.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Allen.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Brown.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Hurst.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Click Bruce.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Edwards.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Curran.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Davila. Absent, Counselor Letterman.
Yes, the votes are sufficient. The motion is adopted. Is there any further discussion or deliberation relative to the special permit prior to our vote?
Is there another motion?
Councilor Walsh, I believe Councilor Fenton made both his motions together.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's good.
Is there any further deliberation amongst the council prior to a vote on the special permit? Seeing none, without objection, Madam Clerk, please call the roll on approval of the special permit.
On approving the special permit, Counselor Walsh.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Fenton.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Perez.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Whitfield.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Govan.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Allen.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Brown.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Hurst.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Click Bruce.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Edwards.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Curran.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Davila. Absent, Counselor Letterman.
Yes, the votes are sufficient. The special permit is approved. Councilor Govan on the reasons.
The reasons for granted the permit: the specific site is an appropriate location for such a use, structure, or condition. The use as developed will not adversely affect the neighborhood. Adequate and appropriate facilities will be provided for the proper operation of the proposed use. To incorporate the planning staff analysis into the decision at the basis of the findings.
Thank you, Councilor Govan. Is there any discussion on the reasons? Seeing none, without objection, Madam Clerk, please call the roll to adopt the reasons.
On adopting the reasons, Counselor Walsh.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Fenton.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Perez.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Whitfield.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Govan.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Allen.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Brown.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Hurst.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Click Bruce.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Edwards.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Curran.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Davila absent. Counselor Letterman.
Yes, the votes are sufficient. The reasons are approved. Madam Clerk, please call the next item on the agenda.
The next item is to change the zoning of the property known as 1781 Page Boulevard from a Business B to Industrial A.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. This is a zone change hearing. Will be run in accordance with the rules of the Springfield City Council. Proponents will be allowed 20 minutes to testify in favor of the zone change. Opponents will be granted the same right. Each side will be entitled to 5 minutes of rebuttal if applicable. At this time, I'll declare that the public hearing is now open and recognize the petitioner as the first proponent. Please state your name and address for the record.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. My name is Michael Ryan. I'm an attorney here in Springfield with offices at 1500 Main Street, and I'm representing United Rentals, Inc. in connection with its application for a zone change for the property at 1781 Page Boulevard. We're seeking a change from Business B to Industrial A. I have Ryan Scully, who's Senior Manager of Legal Affairs at United Rentals, and Rob Levesque from R.L. Levesque to answer any questions that the council may have. I want to say that we've appeared in front of the Indian Orchard Citizens Council and the Planning Board. Both entities have voted to approve our application. And the purpose of this application is to address a change in use at the site by United Rentals. Previously, it was used for the rental of construction equipment, heavy equipment, and tools, if you will. The new use is going to be the storage, the indoor storage and some outdoor storage of empty porta potties and the more elaborate portable bathrooms that they have. All the items will be cleaned wherever they're being used and then transported to the site. When they're at the site, they will be washed in a wash bay that's inside the building, which has a state-of-the-art drain system where it collects and separates the oil and any dirt and discharges into the sanitary sewer. The proposed use is going to be a much less intense use of the site than what was previously there with the equipment rental, in that there will be really no retail customers. The items are rented and shipped from the site. So there's going to be very little customer traffic into the site, and there'll be far fewer deliveries of or retrievals of equipment from the site. So it will just be a few trucks a day out of the site, United Rental trucks taking porta potties and other equipment to areas where sites where the porta potties and other items will be used. So they anticipate that there'll be up to 30 employees within 2 years of the start of this use, and they hope to be there for about at least a minimum of 15 years with a lease extension that's in the offing. So I turn it over to any questions that council may have.
Thank you very much. Are there any further individuals present who wish to speak in favor, testify in favor, either in person or virtually? Seeing none, are there any individuals who wish to testify in opposition, either in person or virtually? Say again, any individuals present to testify in opposition, either in person or virtually? Seeing none at this time, are there any questions from members of the City Council while the hearing remains open? Councilor Allen?
Thanks, Mr. President. Yeah, Mr. Ryan, could you, thank you for your explanation. I just need to get a little more clarity on it. So there's an existing business there which deals with porta potties, and if you could just explain how that business is changing, how you're requesting, what change you're requesting to that business.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Ryan Scully. I am in-house counsel for United Rentals.
Our corporate headquarters are 101st Stamford Place in Stamford, Connecticut. I did want to thank you guys very much for doing this special meeting because we are under some lease pressure. So we really appreciate you guys taking your time to do this. I actually grew up in East Longmeadow, so I get to see my family when I came up. So that's also cool as well. But to answer your question, so it has been a construction rental equipment site since 1998. So since 1998, they've been renting backhoes and scissor lifts and large pieces of rental equipment out of that site. It had several different iterations of rental companies. United Rentals acquired a company called NES, who was operating at that site. We acquired them in 2017. We operated our construction rental business out of that site for 3 years, consolidated it with our current location in Holyoke, and we want to open up a different business unit for United Rentals at this location, and that's our portable sanitation. We call it Reliable On-Site Services, but it's portable sanitation, as Mr. Ryan explained, which is the traditional plastic porta potties that you see at fairs or at construction sites, as well as the fancy restroom trailers that you might see at weddings or concerts or events. Also includes temporary fencing and some other things like that. So it's really, we consider it the exact same use. It's just another business unit for us. But unfortunately, and Springfield is not the only one, a lot of zoning regulations count portable sanitation a little bit different than our traditional construction equipment business. So, and as Mr. Ryan pointed out, in our opinion, it's much less intrusive for the neighborhood and for the neighbors because there's no flatbed 18-wheelers bringing in 40,000-pound pieces of equipment anymore. It's just plastic porta potties on trucks coming in and out. So it's a lot less invasive. Hope that answers your question.
Thank you, Councilor Allen. Councilor Govan.
Thank you, Mr. President. And thank you for that presentation. The Indian Orchard Citizens Council did see your presentation, and we did give you a letter of approval. Since then, we have heard some concerns from the neighbors saying that there was some activity going on there. Is there anything going on there currently?
No, not that I'm aware of, unless
Okay.
maybe just people there checking it out in anticipation of this approval so we can start doing the repairs and maintenance required to move them into the building, because the building's been vacant for roughly a year.
So you don't think there might be any rogue car painters going in there?
Absolutely not.
Because
No car painters.
So that was the concern that came to our,
Oh.
the neighborhood council.
Well, I'll certainly I'll certainly ask around, but it's fenced, so, and it's locked, and
Okay.
only our personnel have the keys, so I hope that no one cut the
I
lock and went
didn't
in.
think, and I'm wondering if it's abutting your property that is happening, I don't know. But that's, just so that you know, our neighborhood is pretty, I guess, observant.
Yeah.
Even if sometimes they don't come forward, they'll tell the Citizens Council everything that they see and hear. So I don't know if that's happening there. I hope it isn't. I don't think it would be, but I'm just
It's certainly-
wanting to bring that to your attention.
No, and I appreciate that, and it certainly wouldn't be with our approval if they are,
Right.
that's for sure. They're definitely trespassing. So, and yeah, the Indian Citizens Council, Indian Orchard Citizens Council was great. We had great
Yeah.
conversations with them, and we look forward to employing, many people in their community, and they're actually really high-paying jobs, and so it's a very exciting opportunity for us. We think we could do very, very well there, and as Mr. Ryan mentioned, if this zone change is granted and we are able to operate there, our lease automatically extends for 10 years. So we'll be there for 10 years no matter what, based on an approval from this body. And then we have another 5-year extension as well that we could take advantage of in the future.
Okay, I think that was the only concern that was brought up. Otherwise, there's not going to be a change in ownership,
Oh, no.
just in the zone?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, so I think the neighborhood council is aware, and they're in approval of it. They just want to make sure that what happens there is legal, and you guys are just aware of it.
I'll probably be contacting head of our security on the way out just to make sure that there's nobody trespassing on the lot.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilor Govan.
Thank you,
Are
Mr.
there
President.
any further questions? Councilor Allen.
Thanks, Mr. President. Could I call on Mr. Dromey, please? Yeah, Phil, if you could just give us your opinion of this and why it requires a change, et cetera, and do we have any examples of this somewhere else in the city, or is this just a standard change?
Well, the reason for the needed change is because although it's been used for equipment storage in the past, porta potties fall under the definition of a trash hauling facility. So, and those are only allowed in industrial A. And it's important to note that in addition to the zone change, a special permit is also required for the use itself. The only other kind of similar use I can think of is the special permit that the city council granted for a I think the use is around the corner down on Page Boulevard, but that's actually the trucks that I think take the sewage out of the porta potties and store it at the site. Again, I think it's literally a couple hundred yards down, but that was zoned industrial A. It did trigger a special permit. So industrial A, right next door is industrial A, so it is an appropriate zone, but in business B, you wouldn't be able to do it without, you need the zone change to industrial A and a special permit in order to do trash hauling services, which this is defined as.
Okay, thanks. If we vote this tonight, is there another special permit coming up behind it, or are we voting?
Well, they would have to apply for a special permit as well.
But that's not before us tonight.
That's not before you tonight.
Okay. Thank you, Phil.
Thank you, Councilor Allen. Does that conclude your question?
Yes, I'm all set. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Are there any further questions from the council for the petitioner prior to the close of the public hearing? Seeing none, without objection, I'll then declare that the public hearing is now closed. Is there any deliberation amongst the body prior to a vote on the zone change? Seeing no further deliberation, Madam Clerk, without objection, please call the roll on approving the zone change. 2/3 majority vote is required.
On approving the zone change, Counselor Walsh.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Fenton.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Perez.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Whitfield.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Govan.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Allen.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Brown.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Hurst.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Click Bruce.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Edwards.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Curran.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Davila. Absent, Counselor Letterman.
Yes, the votes are sufficient. The zone change is approved. Madam Clerk, please call the next item.
The next item is to change the property known as Northside Rutledge Avenue from Residence C to Business B.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. This too is a zone change hearing. Will be run in accordance with the same rules as have been previously stated. Proponents of the zone change will be granted 20 minutes to testify in favor. Opponents will also be granted 20 minutes. Both sides will be entitled to 5 minutes of rebuttal. Before I ask the petitioner to come forward, I see Councilor Brown. You have your hand up.
No, I'm just doing it prematurely, Mr. President.
Okay, thank you, Councilor Brown. So at this time, I'll declare that the public hearing is now open. I'll ask the petitioner to step forward as the first proponent. Please state your name and address for the record, and the floor will be yours to present your zone change.
Thank you, Council President. My name is Tony Calabrese, and I own and operate AC Produce in Springfield, and my address is 92 Pine Grove Circle in East Long Meadow. I'm requesting a zone change from Residence C to Business B, just to expand the parking lot for AC Produce.
Thank you, Mr. Calabrese. Do you wish to share anything further at this time?
No, I thank you for having a special meeting.
Our pleasure. All right, if that concludes your testimony, we'll ask, is there anybody else present, either in person or virtually, to speak in favor of the special permit? We'll say again, any further individuals present to speak in favor? Seeing none, are there any individuals present to speak in opposition, either in person or virtually? Also seeing none, at this time we'll ask, are there any questions from councilors while the hearing remains open? Councilor Brown.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just want to make a quick statement. I want to thank AC Produce for the work that they do as far as bringing wholesome food to the community. The area and the reconstruction looks beautiful. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilor Brown. Councilor Fenton.
Just want to echo that sentiment, Mr. President, and add that my grandmother and the maternal side of my family have had a property on Rutledge Avenue for almost 100 years, and the Calabrese family and the job that they've done on that corner is nothing less than tremendous.
Councilor Fenton, we've lost your audio, but I believe we have received the sentiment. Councilor Walsh.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just want to thank you for coming back. And we're out a little earlier tonight, I hope. But having been at AC Protos at many different times, I know how hard it is to find a parking space down there. So I'm very happy to support this petition. And also, again, as other colleagues have said, to thank you for bringing such a great establishment there. And the food and the produce, everything is excellent. Very happy to support you, particularly I know you are a graduate of our Springfield schools.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Walsh. Councilor Govan.
Thank you, Mr. President. Where is the parking lot going to be?
So if you're looking at the building from Main Street, it's to the right.
Okay.
There used to be a home there. We knocked it down a few years ago. So we've been using it as parking, but to make it official so we can start paving, we need to have it rezoned.
Excellent, great. Well, I have to agree with the sentiments of the other councilors. Like I said earlier, I wanted a salad. Councilor Allen's offering me candy. I think it's a wonderful
Thank you.
establishment, and I look forward to coming there with the new parking lot where I can find a parking space, right,
Thank
Councilor
you.
Walsh? Thank you so much, and
Thank
I
you.
also approve.
Thank you, Councilor Govan. Councilor Allen.
Thanks, Mr. President. I was just going to ask, why you're building, you said you're using it as a parking lot already, so you're just officially paving it, but it's been part of your business for a while.
For a few years. There used to be a home there, and it was a three-family resident property that we knocked down, I believe, 2.5 years ago. And we just currently knocked down the commercial building that was in front of that also. So that's going to be more parking. So it'll be striped, paved, three ways in, 3 ways out. So it's going to flow a lot nicer than it is now. And fully landscaped, all new landscaping.
Great, excellent. Thank you, all set.
Thank you, Councilor Allen. Are there any further questions from the council while the hearing remains open? Seeing none, without objection at this time, I'll declare that the public hearing is closed. Is there any deliberation amongst the council prior to a vote on the zone change? Seeing no further deliberation at this time, without objection, Madam Clerk, please call the roll on approving the zone change. 2/3 majority vote is required.
On approving the zone change, Councilor Walsh.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Fenton.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Perez.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Whitfield.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Govan.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Allen.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Brown.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Hurst.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Click Bruce.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Edwards.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Curran.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Davila absent. Councilor Letterman.
Yes, the votes are sufficient. The zone change is approved.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Madam Clerk, please call the final item.
I wish you had brought a few paninis with you.
Pie or a salad? A salad.
The last item on the agenda is an amendment of Article 4, Section 4.7.114B5, Adult Use.
Thank you very much, Madam Clerk. This is an amendment to the zoning ordinance, which was continued with the hearing open from a previous meeting. Just to let folks know where we are with this, I know that we were seeking some clarification from the Law Department and the Planning Department. So since the hearing remains open, we can hear from both of those individuals tonight. Should we close the hearing and proceed to a vote on this, at that time we would be voting on first step. The Law Department's confirmed this will require 2 votes. So we do have the option to do first step tonight, followed by the next round at our later July meeting. But I know it's been a while since it's appeared on the agenda, so I just want to let folks know that is where we are on it at this time. So I see Phil is at the podium. We'll let him bring forward his comments at this time.
Good evening, Phil Dromey, Deputy Director of Planning for the Office of Planning and Economic Development. As was mentioned, I'm here on behalf of the City Council presenting an amendment to Article 4, specifically the adult use marijuana. It specifically relates to the hours of operation. As currently written, the hours are between 8 a.m. and 9 p.m. What is being proposed is that the hours of operation be extended from 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. At the previous meeting, there was a question brought up about how this affects the existing special permits, because a number of special permits for this use have been issued. I forget the number. I think there's 3 or 4. And I did review those, and they do all have clauses which specifically refer back to the way the ordinance is written now. So in consultation with Attorney Shea, we were able to come up with an amendment that specifically says, so the amended version would be: the hours of operation shall be set by the City Council, but in no event shall a marijuana retailer be open to the public, and no sale or other distribution of marijuana shall occur upon the premises or via delivery from the premises between the hours of 11 p.m. and 8 a.m. And then the amended sentence would then say, this change in hours shall apply to all marijuana retailers now in operation within the city of Springfield. So that would retroactively capture the special permits that have been currently granted, so it wouldn't require them to come back through the whole process to amend it. So I believe that resolves, I think, the largest question that we had. So I don't know if there's any other specific questions more than that. It is important to note, as I mentioned last time, that the City Council still has the ultimate control on hours of operation. So while it says 8 a.m. to 11, if for some reason there's an operation that abuts residents or some other reason comes up, the City Council can limit the hours of operation through the special permit process.
Thank you, Mr. Dromey. Councilor Fenton?
I just wanted to thank Phil. I raised this issue a few meetings ago. This addresses my concern. I regret that it slowed us down this much, but I think it was important. So thank you, Phil.
Thank you, Councilor Fenton. Are there any further questions from the council while the hearing remains open? Councilor Allen?
I just want to clarify, and hear Mr. Shea's opinion as well. If we vote this tonight, Phil just said that it applies to all previous special permits we gave that might have had different hours. Can we get a legal ruling on that? Ken, you agree with that?
Yes.
Ken, could you come to the mic? Sorry.
Yes, I drafted that language and we ran it through the law department, and it will take care of that issue.
So we could vote this tonight?
Yes, you can.
Applies to everything, and that's that.
Right.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you, Attorney Shea. Thank you, Councilor Allen.
All set.
Councilor Click Bruce.
Just a quick question, Phil. If we were to vote this tonight, how would we notify those in operation that this change has been to effect?
I'm happy to draft up a letter. Like I said, I think there's 3 or 4 that have been granted special permits. I think there's only, I'm trying to think of how many. I think there's only 3 open. The one on Boston Road, INSA, and I think 6 bricks.
Okay.
3 licenses, 6 are.
Yeah.
3 open.
So I'm happy to notify. Either that or I'll work with the law department. Right. We'll let them know.
And then my other question, you may have answered it, I missed it. Now this applies for those in the future that's coming aboard too. They don't have to. So these hours of operation will be in effect for those.
Correct. They'll be under this hours of operation. But again, as the language speaks, the hours are set by the City Council.
Yep.
But they would be allowed. All new special permits would start at the 8 a.m. to 11 p.m.
Understood. All right. Thank you. That concludes my question. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilor Click Bruce. Are there further questions from councilors while the hearing remains open? Councilor Walsh?
No question, but I'm just happy that this will take care of everybody that's come before us before, so they don't have to come back for an extra step.
Thank you, Councilor Walsh. Further questions while the hearing remains open? Councilor Whitfield?
Thank you, Mr. President. Phil, do you know if there's any of the 3 are any already operating outside of these hours?
I don't know that. I would hope they're not, but I don't know. I don't believe they are, but again, I don't know that for sure. I mean, again,
'Cause I'm
there's,
just wondering how it will affect, because I'm looking at INTA, it looks like they close at 9, so they will be good. 8 to 9. Hold on, I just want to see.
yeah, I mean, everybody should be closing at 9.
Everyone, that was the hours before?
Correct. So that's what their
Yeah.
current special permit states, that they should not be operating past 9 PM. This will allow them to go to 11.
This will allow them to stay open later.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you, Phil.
Thank you, Councilor Whitfield. Are there any further questions for Mr. Dromey or any other individual while the hearing remains open? Seeing none, without objection, we'll declare that the public hearing is now closed. Is there any deliberation amongst the council prior to a vote on the amendment to the zoning ordinance? Councilor Whitfield, I see your hand, but I don't know if it was up from previously.
Oh, yeah, sorry, that was previous, sorry.
Thank you very much. Councilor Edwards?
Just want to say thank you to Phil and for Ken Shea, Attorney Shea, for putting in the extra work to try to get this before us in a timely manner. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Edwards. Are there any further comments from the members of the City Council prior to our vote on the amendment to the zoning ordinance? Seeing none, as I stated previously, this will be considered a first step on the amendment, and we can take up future steps at our upcoming meetings. Without objection, Madam Clerk, please call the roll on the amendment to the zoning ordinance. 2/3 majority vote is required.
On approving the amendment, Counselor Walsh.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Fenton.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Perez.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Whitfield.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Govan.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Allen.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Brown. Counselor Brown, away. Counselor Hurst.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Click Bruce.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Edwards.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Curran.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Davila. Absent, Counselor Letterman.
Yes. Madam Clerk, can you just confirm the yeas?
The yeas are Walsh, Fenton, Perez, Whitfield, Govan, Allen, Hurst, Click Bruce, Edwards, Curran, and Letterman.
Votes are sufficient. The amendment is approved. Madam Clerk, is there any further business properly brought before this council?
There is not.
Seeing none, we will stand adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
Hope you had a nice